Good morning all. So in today's class we will define what is called a multi-set. നമ്മൾ കഴിഞ്ഞ ഒരു പ്രോബ്ലത്തിൽ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. So we have taken a set where their elements were A, B, C. So here you can see that A is repeating 3 times. Then you have the elements B and C. So in general, a multi-set is a collection of objects where the objects need not be they need not be distinct. So some of the objects may be repeating. So such a set is called a multi-set. So let us see the definition of multi-set. So a multi-set is a collection of objects but its members need not be distinct. So for example, if I have a set like this, say let me take M equal to the set A, B, B, then C. So this is a set which is containing exactly 2 A's, then you have 3 B's, and then you have 2 C's. So this is a multi-set where the elements are not distinct, and this multi-set is usually written in the form. So A is repeating twice, so we write it as 2 dot A, then 3 dot B, and 2 dot C. So this is how we represent a multi-set in general. So usually we represent the multi-set like this. So here this will be e set na namakku 3A, then you can write as 1B and 1C. That is this multi-set. So in general, a multi-set M is of the form. So in general, a multi-set, so M is equal to, so R1 dot A1, then you have R2 dot A2, etc. Rn dot An. So where N, R1, R2, etc. Rn are non-negative integers. So this is the number of repetitions. R1, R2, etc. Rn, they will be the number of times your objects A1, A2, etc. An will be occurring, and n is the number of different objects you have. A1, A2, then you have the object An, and A1, A2, etc. An are the distinct objects. So A1, A2, etc. An are the distinct objects. So the set basically consists of the object A1 R1 times, and A2 is contained R2 times, and An is contained Rn times. And the numbers Ri, they are in general called the repetition number. So the number Ri is called a repetition number of a multi-set. And now there are problems where repetitions are allowed any number of times. So an object can be chosen any number of times. അപ്പം നമ്മൾ ഇപ്പം പറഞ്ഞ എക്സാമ്പിൾസിലൊക്കെ there are 2A ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ A can be chosen only twice. So in the case where infinite number of repetitions are allowed, so in a multi-set we denote it by infinity dot A. So when I write infinity dot A, that means the object A can be chosen as many times as possible. So it can be repeated any number of times. So given an object A, we may write infinity dot A to indicate that A can be repeated. So the object A can be repeated any number of times. So any number of repetitions are allowed. Okay. ഇനി നമ്മൾ രണ്ട് റിസൾട്ട്സ് കണ്ടു. നമ്മൾ ലാസ്റ്റ് കഴിഞ്ഞ ക്ലാസ്സുകളിൽ നമ്മൾ പെർമ്യൂട്ടേഷൻ വിത്ത് റെപ്പറ്റീഷൻ കണ്ടു. നമ്മൾ ആദ്യം കണ്ട റെപ്പറ്റീഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, സോ യു ആർ ഹാവിങ് n objects. So n objects can repeat any number of times. So if you have to find an R permutation, so in the first place you have all the n choices. ഇനി രണ്ടാമത്തെ പ്ലേസിലും എല്ലാ ഒബ്ജക്റ്റും ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒബ്ജക്റ്റ് വരാം, since repetitions are allowed, and in the last place also n. So we have got the number of permutations to be n raised to r. ഇനി അതുപോലെ തന്നെ നമ്മൾ രണ്ടാമത് കണ്ട ഇതാണ് r1 is of type 1, and if you have r2 of type 2, so on rn of type n, and if you want to find the number of r permutations, so that is given by r factorial into r1 divided by r1 factorial, r2 factorial, etc. rn factorial. So the first is a case where any number of repetitions are allowed. അപ്പം നമ്മുടെ മൾട്ടി സെറ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് infinity dot a1, infinity dot a2, so on infinity dot an ആയിരിക്കും, because you have n objects. So n objects can be repeated any number of times. So this is a multi set of where the repetitions are allowed infinitely, and here this is a multi set where object a1 is occurring r1 times. അപ്പോൾ r1 dot a1 വരും, r2 dot a2 വരും, so on rn dot an. That is this multiset. അപ്പോൾ ആ രണ്ട് റിസൾട്ടും you can rewrite in terms of a multiset. So let us write those results. So result 1 is, so the number of r permutations of, so the number of r permutations of the multiset infinity dot a1, infinity dot a2, so on infinity dot an is given by n raised to r, and the second result is, so let m be the multiset r1 dot a1, r2 dot a2, so on r2 dot an, and suppose we have r equal to, so r1 plus r2 plus etc. rn. So this is the total number of objects. So r എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഈ സം എടുക്കുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് total number of objects ആയിരിക്കും വരുന്നത്. Then the number p r, so this is how we denoted r1, r2, etc. rn. So this is the r permutation out of the objects r1, r2, rn. Out of this is the number of times they are repeating. So that is given by r factorial by r1 factorial, r2 factorial, etc. rn factorial. So that is the number of required permutations. So let us look at an example of finding the number of permutations. So let us see an example. So find the number of ternary sequences of length 10 having 2 zeros, 3 ones and 5 twos. So you need to form a ternary sequence. അപ്പം ternary sequence എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ that is a sequence which is containing exactly 3 elements